welcome to Shadow Gaming. My name is Shadowwake and this is episode 5 of our Let's Play of Dragon Age Inquisition on the Xbox One. I was going to go straight into the game, but when I actually loaded my Xbox we had a nice little update and we now have the ability to download the Jaws of Hakon DLC. I've done a quick read on this one. Essentially you get called to defeat a group of Avar who are trying to raise one of the gods, and you find out what happens to the last Inquisitor. So at some point we will get this one downloaded and I will show you some nice new content, but for now we will carry on and finish off doing little bits and pieces with the original game that we were playing to begin with our lovely Gwen. So let's just go right into this game now. It's quite nice to see an update for Dragon Age. It's been a little while, and to have the first DLC out is really nice, because the DLC packs in the other games were really quite involved. There was a lot of content for what you paid for, so I'm really looking forward to this new expansion pack. It will just add some more to a storyline that's already, you know, a nice deep storyline. So yeah, we will see when we get it downloaded. So yes, I think we found ourselves in Haven last time. We woke up after our first closure of the big breach in the sky, and we had a lovely terrified little elf who ran off to go and get friend Cassandra. So we're now going to have a look around at this city. So there's lots of lovely things to loot on the way. Again, some elf fruit, always nice. Let's just check out the rest of this place. Oh, read. Vain hope. Someone better at this than me takes over before the survivor expires. Notes the case. Day 1. Clammy, shallow breathing, pulse over fast, non-responsive, pupils dilated. Mage says her scarring mark is thrumming with unknown magic. Wish we could station a Templar in here, just in case. Yes, I can imagine. Not a very pleasant experience for one who's not used to being around a mage, let alone one with strange glowy mark on her hand. Which at the moment isn't glowing, so I think we're okay. So let's go on out into the world. Oh, hello everybody. Wow, that's a bit intimidating, isn't it? Obviously they don't like what I did then. Let's have a quick look at the other buildings. They can wait on my pleasure, of course, because I am the amazing mage that closed the breach. There's nothing in there. Just check this one. Yes, that's me, the Herald of Andraste. Okay, nothing in here either. Well, that wasn't very interesting. Ooh, a little bit of doubt of Cassandra there. So, you know Andraste's old Mabari, he don't show up in the chant, and if you ask those holy sisters, well, they say Andraste can't have some smelly big old war dog, but all Ferelden knows it right. Our sweet lady needed someone who would warm her feet at night. And there's Andraste's Mabari by the Holy Prophet's side. In the fight against Tevinter, that dog would never hide. They say the Makers sent him special, always loyal without pride, so he could be the sworn companion of the Maker's holy bride. Oh, that dog, he guards Andraste without arrogance or fear, only asking of his mistress just a scratch behind the ears. But then old Mafrath gets to plotting, tries to lure that dog away, but even as they trap the prophet, her Mabari never strays. And there's Andraste's Mabari by the Holy Prophet's side. In the fight against Tevinter, that dog would never hide. They say the Makers sent him special, always loyal without pride, so he could be the sworn companion of the Maker's holy bride. Oh, they thought the wounds had killed him, but then he limped out toward the fire. In Hessarian he shed a tear as that dog laid on the pyre. And there's Andraste's Mabari by the Holy Prophet's side. In the fight against Tevinter, that dog would never hide. They say the Makers sent him special, always loyal without pride, so he could be the sworn companion of the Maker's holy bride. Yes, that Mabari's the companion of the Maker's holy bride. A popular, if historically unlikely, Ferelden tavern song. But a very nice one, if a bit bittersweet. So let's go around this way.
That's her. She stopped the breach from getting any bigger.
Yes, I did. What do you expect? I've only just seen it.
Blessings upon you, Herald of Andraste.
Thank you very much. Lots of lovely blessings. Let's go and have a look and see if there's anything interesting in the tents. Anything in here? No, nothing in here. We'll speak to you in a minute. Won't speak to you yet. Nothing in there. Let's go towards the chantry.
Chancellor Roderick says that their chantry wants nothing to do with us.
That isn't Chancellor Roderick's
Ooh,
decision.
it's a nice big place. Lots of interesting things. The study of the Fade is as old as humankind. For so long as men have dreamed, we have looked its twisting paths even, sometimes catching a glimpse of the city at its heart, always as close as our own thoughts, but impossibly separated from our world. The Tevinter Imperium once spent vast fortunes of gold, lyrium, and human slaves in an effort to map the terrain of the Fade, an ultimately futile endeavour. Although portions of it belong to powerful spirits, all of the Fade is in constant flux. The Imperium succeeded in finding the disparate and ever-shifting realms of a dozen demon lords, as well as cataloguing a few hundred types of spirits before they were forced to abandon the project. The relationship of dreamers to the Fade is complex. Even when entering the Fade through the use of lyrium, mortals are not able to control or affect it. The spirits who dwell there, however, can, and as the chantry teaches us, the great flaw of the spirits is that they have neither imagination nor ambition. They create what they see through their sleeping visitors, building elaborate copies of our cities, people and events which, like the reflections in a mirror, ultimately lack context or life of their own. Even the most powerful demons merely plagiarize the worst thoughts and fears of mortals and build their realms with no other ambition than to taste life. From Tranquility and the Role of the Fade in Human Culture by First Enchanter Josephus. Josephus. What a name. It's very Roman. But oh yeah, I've actually realised that I need to increase my level. Ooh, belt and a hatchet. Lovely. Let's go into our level up menu. Character record. Okay, so we've got a point to spend. We spent it on lightning last time. Let's spend it on a slightly different one. Shall we go with fire? Let's go for immolate. That's a nice one to have. We'll go for some of the spirit one next time. Oops. Anyway, let's go into the inventory. See if I've got any nice new staffs. I don't think I have. No. I haven't got any companionship to use it, but I do have a belt. Let's put the belt on. What does that do? Give us 2% melee defense. So that's quite a nice one to have. Okay. What's this we've got? I'm going to read these things so far. If it gets a bit much, I'll probably stop and just read through it myself. I'll leave it up on the screen for a bit. But I will read a few of them as we go along. The light shall lead her safely through the paths of this world and into the next, for she who trusts in the Maker, fire is her water. As a moth sees light and goes towards flame, she should see fire and go towards the light. The veil holds no uncertainty for her, and she will know no fear of death, for the Maker shall be her beacon and her shield, her foundation and her sword. Transfigurations 10.1, often sung by mourners as they light candles. Well, that's a bit morbid, but hey, I suppose it's pretty. There's not much down there yet, so I'm not going to go down there yet. We'll go there later. Let's pop through this door here. There are many misconceptions regarding Andraste's bloodline, monsieur. This is due, I should think, to a general lack of knowledge regarding Andraste's mortal life. Understandable, considering the many cults that arose following her death. Everyone sought to claim Our Lady for their own culture, or claim some aspect of her existence was a lie, all of them complete fabrications. My order has done considerable research to ascertain the truth. We all know Andraste and the Betrayer raised 5 children. The eldest 3 were sons, Izorath, Evrion, and Verold. The rule of what was once southern Tevinter was split among them. Izorath was given the west, which is today Orlais. Evrion was given the east, what is today the Free Marches. Verold was given the central Planocene, what is today Navarra. What became of these men and their legacies of claimants to Andraste legacies is the stuff of legend. I'm just skipping on there. And the majority of claimants to Andraste's bloodline link back to one of them. None of the 3 sons, however, were born of Andraste. They were born of the Betrayer's concubine, Gillivan. People chose to overlook the fact that Andraste came from the Almari tribesmen and that they were barbarians, not the Ferelden's we know today. They were savage warriors who took concubines in addition to their wives, and because Andraste was thought to be too weak to bear children, the betrayer took Gillivan to provide him heirs, which she did. After her death, the sons were raised as Andraste's own. Later in life, Andraste provided predictions wrong and had 2 daughters by the betrayer, Ebris and Vivial. They were kept out of the public eye and not permitted to marry, though both had consorts. Ebris had but one child, Ali Vemar, who perished on a voyage to Denerim less than a month after her mother fell to the plague, and without children of her own. The younger daughter, Vivial, was more controversial, a strong-headed woman who defied her family by falling in love with the mage of Tevinter, Regulan. Vivial and Regulan went into self-imposed exile as the Exalted March began, and into hiding following Andraste's betrayal and murder. What became of Vivial and her descendants is largely unknown for one primary reason. She had only daughters. Each of those daughters had only daughters. They married into other families and took other names, and in the chaos of the Second Blight, all traces of survivors were lost. Andraste's true bloodline, if it exists, lies solely in the descendants of Vivial, and the suspicion of my order is that it produces only daughters. Thus the claims of young man Monsieur are highly suspect. From a letter by Sister Galena of the Augustan Order, Dragon 9.12. That's interesting. Right, let's speak to Meneve.
I believe Seeker Pentagast was looking for you.
Okay, she was. Let's turn in our research then. There we go.
Thank you.
So that will get rid of some of our yellow items in our inventory, ones that can actually be used to research into the creatures and give us extra bonuses for them. I can't speak to Meneve yet, because obviously she wants me to speak to Seeker Pentagast. There was no word for heaven or for death, for sea or for sky. All that existed was silence. Then the voice of the Maker rang out, the first word, and his word became all that might be. Dream and idea, hope and fear, endless possibilities. And from it made his firstborn, and he said to them, In my image I forge you, to you I give dominion over all that exists. By your will may all things be done. Then in the centre of heaven he called forth a city with towers of gold, streets with music for cobblestones, and banners which flew without wind. There he dwelled, waiting to see the wonders his children would create. The children of the Maker gathered before his golden throne and sang hymns of praise unending. But their songs were the songs of the cobblestones. They shone with the golden light reflected from the Maker's throne. They held forth the banners that flew on their own. And the voice of the Maker shook the Fade, saying, In my image I have wrought my firstborn. You have been given dominion over all that exists. By your will all things are done, yet you do nothing. The realm I have given you is formless, ever-changing. And he knew he had wrought a mess. So the Maker turned from his firstborn, and took from the Fade a measure of its living flesh, and placed it apart from the spirits, and spoke to it, saying, Here I decree opposition in all things, for earth, sky, for winter, summer, for darkness, light. And my will alone is balanced sundered, and the world given new life. And no longer was it formless, ever-changing, but held fast, immutable, with words for heaven and for earth, sea, and sky. At last did the Maker from the living world make men, immutable as the substance of the earth, with souls made of dream and idea, hope and fear, endless possibilities. Then the Maker said, To you, my second-born, I grant this gift. In your heart shall burn an unquenchable flame, all-consuming and never satisfied. From the Fade I crafted you, and to the Fade you shall return each night in dreams, that you may always remember me. And then the Maker sealed the gates of the Golden City, and there he dwelled, waiting to see the wonders his children would create. From the Canticle of Threnodies, 5.1 to 8. That gives an idea of the beginning of man. I don't like the idea of the unquenchable stuff, because that kind of doesn't bode very well. But on to more important things.
Chain her! I want her prepared for travel to the capital for trial.
Disregard that and leave us.
You walk a dangerous line, Seeker.
The breach is stable, but it is still a threat. I will not ignore it.
So I'm still a suspect, even after what we just did.
You absolutely are.
No, she is not.
Someone was behind the explosion at the Conclave. Someone most holy did not expect. Perhaps they died with the others, or have allies who yet live.
I am a suspect?
You, and many others.
but not the prisoner.
I heard the voices in the temple. The Divine called to her for help.
So her survival, that thing on her hand, all a coincidence.
Providence. The Maker sent her to us in our darkest hour.
Oh dear. Right. Okay. I'm not sure what I believe as an elf. Yeah, let's go with that option.
You really think your maker would send someone like me?
The Maker does as he wills. It is not for me to say.
Even if that means a Dalish elf is his chosen?
Humans are not the only people with an interest in the fate of the world.
The breach remains, and your mark is still our only hope of closing it.
This is not for you to decide.
You know what this is, Chancellor. A writ from the Divine, granting us the authority to act. As of this moment, I declare the Inquisition reborn. We will close the breach, we will find those responsible, and we will restore order with or without your approval.
Bit of contention there.
This is the Divine's directive. Rebuild the Inquisition of old. Find those who will stand against the chaos. We aren't ready. We have no leader, no numbers. And now, no Chantry support.
But we have no choice. We must act now, with you at our side.
Okay.
What is the Inquisition of old, exactly?
It preceded the Chantry. People who banded together to restore order in a world gone mad.
After, they laid down their banner and formed the Templar Order, but the Templars have lost their way. We need those who can do what must be done, united under a single banner once more.
But aren't you still part of the Chantry?
Is that what you see?
The Chantry will take time to find a new Divine. And then it will wait for her direction.
But we cannot wait. So many Grand Clerics died at the Conclave. No, we are on our own. Perhaps forever.
You're trying to start a holy war.
We are already at war. You are already involved. Its mark is upon you. As to whether the war is holy, that depends on what we discover.
Well, I've got to ask a question.
What if I refuse?
You can go if you wish.
You should know that while some believe you chosen, many still think you guilty. The Inquisition can only protect you if you are with us.
We can also help you.
It will not be easy if you stay. But you cannot pretend this has not changed you.
Okay.
When I woke up, I certainly didn't picture this outcome.
Neither did we.
Help us fix this before it's too late.
It's a nice firm handshake. And Cassandra's happy. All is good in the world. Apart from the breaches in the sky. But we'll heal those eventually. Bit by bit. Not necessarily all at once. That would, be a really bad game. Ah, the gang. Varric. We love Varric. It's a shame he's not a romanceable character. He'd be really cool as a romanceable character. Ooh. Lots of interesting places. Lots of eyes. I like the script. It's halfway between Old English and hieroglyphics. I like this. Everybody's getting ready. Everything looks like things are happening eventually. And for now, we're all agreeing on the one thing that matters, which is a good thing. I look pretty. I look pretty. She looks pretty. Gwen looks pretty. Still evidence, even though I closed it. And that is our title sequence. We've got past it. Woo! Into the game proper. Introduction's done. Fab. Right, so I've got a couple of quests automatically. I've got to report to Haven's Chantry. I've done Know Thy Enemy, which is kind of putting in the research materials. I do apologise, I've got a bit of a frog in my throat. Sorry, how terrible of me. Right, so let's have a quick look at our missions then. So we've got to report to the Chantry, and we've got to go and speak with the Smith, the Quartermaster, and the Apothecary. Find the crafting masters. In fact, let's select that one. Let's do those first, I think. Have a bit of a wander round and then go to the Chantry eventually. So, let's go to the Quartermaster. Hello, Thrin.
Apothecary Adon wanted to know when you might
If
be
you're
able
here
to
to
provide
clean, Hess can
materials
get
he
your
needs.
bucket and a broom. Anyone calls you knife here, come to me. Oh, you're her. Thrin,
Sorry.
Inquisition Quartermaster. I'm doing what I can to supply this mess.
Well, that's good.
If you find what I need to fill one of my requisitions, I'd appreciate you bringing it in.
Oh, very nice. What's your job?
What do you do here?
I make sure the Inquisition troops have food in their bellies and iron in their hands. Both are important. Lots of people expecting us to be heroes, marching all day to fight the demons. Turns out heroes need to dig latrines just like everyone else.
Of course, otherwise there would be poo everywhere, which is not a great idea.
How does someone end up as quartermaster for the Inquisition?
I served for Eldon under 10 Loghain MacTier, best commanding officer this world has ever seen. After they all turned on him at Denerim, though, there wasn't much use for people who held that opinion. King Alistair offered my services to the Inquisition, probably to get rid of me.
Well, yeah, I'm going to answer with that one. No wonder you're unpopular. Loghain was a traitor. He betrayed the Grey Wardens. It wasn't particularly very nice. Admittedly, he had his reasons for doing so, but still, when you're playing as a Grey Warden, which you do in the last one, in the first one, sorry, Dragon Age Origins, it's not a nice thing to have as someone who you thought was an ally turn his back on you entirely. So, no wonder you're unpopular.
With that attitude, I can't imagine how you made enemies in Denerim.
People just don't want to hear the truth. I was at Ostagar, and I know what really happened.
So was I.
Kanan overextended his position, and the Grey Wardens were too late lighting a signal. Following the original plan would have gotten everyone killed. Turn Loghain made the right decision. I apologise. Sister Liliana told me I shouldn't talk about this. Just forget it.
So, tell me about requisitions then.
What did you mean when you mentioned requisitions?
I'm making this Inquisition run with what we have, but we're not a real army. We're stretched thin on materials, so I've put up a requisition list for anything that could help our people. Here, take a look. You find some iron and a good logging site. Maybe Harriet can get our troops better weapons.
Cool.
If I have material for a special order, do I bring it to you?
Just take it over there. One of my boys will take the materials or jot down what you found.
Farewell.
Make her go with you.
You don't have to say goodbye to everyone. You can just press the B button on the controller and back out of it, but I figure it's polite, so might as well say goodbye. So you go to the Inspect Requisitions table, and it will actually tell you what you need. So in order to complete this requisition for Inquisition weapons, which will reward excuse me, with 1 power, I need to find 1 logging stand and 5 lots of iron. Which for this first one, I think you could actually get a map mission for it. We'll ignore that so far though, and we'll go and speak to the other people. Let's go around here.
So we're heretics, just like them. Should we surrender?
Go this way. I don't think I went into this building. Let's loot the back. Ooh, lots of resources to make things and some gold. Gold, I love thee! Anything in here? Oh, another thing to read. Day 3. Less thrashing. Some response to stimulus. Vital seems solid. 2 attempts so far by locals to break into the chantry and kill my patient. All this work to save her life, and will they just execute her? I will inform Lady Cassandra. I expect her to wake before the morn. So, I don't know where the day 2 thing is, but I'm sure we'll find it at some point. Hiya, Varric! Let's talk to you!
So, now that Cassandra's out of earshot, are you holding up all right? I mean, you go from being the most wanted criminal in Thedas to joining the armies of the faithful. Most people would have spread that out over more than one day.
I'm a bit confused.
I have no idea what's happening anymore.
That makes 2 of us. For days now, we've been staring at the breach, watching demons and maker knows what fall out of it. Bad for morale would be an understatement. I still can't believe anyone was in there and lived.
If it was that bad, why did you stay? Cassandra said you were free to go.
I like to think I'm as selfish and irresponsible as the next guy, but this... Thousands of people died on that mountain. I was almost one of them. And now there's a hole in the sky. Even I can't walk away and just leave that to sort itself out.
I'm still not sure I believe any of this is really happening.
If this is all just the Maker winding us up, I hope there's a damn good punchline coming. You might want to consider running at the first opportunity. I've written enough tragedies to recognize where this is going. Heroes are everywhere. I've seen that. But the hole in the sky, that's beyond heroes. We're going to need a miracle.
Right, so good job I'm here to be your miracle then. Right, let's go find the pub. Just as an alternative area. So look, oh, don't jump. Get the loot. Into the pub.
And you've seen no signs of the Grey Wardens anywhere? Nope. You're certain?
When you walk into areas with songs, which is a lovely thing in the game, you do actually collect them. So you can pick them up as you go along, but you can also hear them when you wander into different pubs, and there's instruments, but there's some lovely songs in here. Just listen to this for a bit. Ah, isn't it lovely? Right, there's something to read over here. Let's have a look at this. Big book. Even the mountains had a heart once. When the world was young, Korth the Mountain Father kept his throne at the peak of the Balanas, the mountain at the centre of the world from which he could see all corners of the earth and sky, and he saw strong men become weak, brave men grow cowardly, and wise men turn foolish for love. Korth devised a plan that he might never be betrayed by his own heart, by taking it out and hiding it where no soul would ever dare search for it. He sealed it inside a golden cask, buried it in the earth, and raised around it the fiercest mountains the world had ever seen, the Frostbacks, to guard it. But without his heart, the Mountain Father grew cruel. His chest was filled with bitter mountain winds that shrieked and howled like lost souls. Food lost its flavour, music had no sweetness, and he lost all joy in deeds of valour. He sent avalanches and earthquakes to torment the tribes of men. Gods and men rose against him, calling him a tyrant, but with no heart Korth could not be slain. Soon there were no heroes left, either among men or gods, who would dare challenge Korth. The Lady of the Skies sent the best of her children, the swiftest, the cleverest, and the strongest flyers, to scour the mountains for the missing heart, and for a year and a day they searched. But sparrow and raven, vulture and eagle, swift and albatross returned to her with nothing. Then the ptarmigan spoke up and offered to find the god chief's heart. The other birds laughed, for the ptarmigan is a tiny bird, too humble to soar, which spends half its time hopping along the ground. The lady would not give the little creature her blessing, for the mountains were too fierce even for eagles, but the ptarmigan set out anyway. The little bird travelled deep into the frostbacks. When she could not fly, she crawled. She hugged the ground and feathered the worst mountain winds, and so made her lonely way to the valley where the heart beat. With all the gods' terrible deeds, the heart was far too heavy for the tiny bird to carry, so she rolled it, little by little, out of the valley and down a cliff, and when the golden cask struck the earth, it shattered. The heart was full almost to bursting, and the pain of it roused the mountain god to come and see what happened. When Korth neared his heart, it leapt back into his chest, and he was whole again. Then Hakon Winter's Breath bound Korth's chest with 3 bands of iron and 3 bands of ice, so it could never again escape, and all the remaining gods named the Ptarmigan, honoured above even the loftiest eagles. The Ptarmigan, an Avar tale from Ferelden folklore and history by Sister Petrine, the Chantry scholar. What a lovely story. Have you got anything for me?
Can I get you anything?
No, ignore what I can find in Haven.
Goodbye.
I know what I can find in Haven. Let's go up here. This is the apothecary. Up here. Have a quick look in the houses. I am a nosy person. Just wander into the houses and rummage around and see what I get, read their books. A well-worn quarterly missive of suspect virtue. The randy dowager welcomes the cool of autumn with the fall of another, the collected dreams of a desire, being the confession of an apprentice and training more furrowing than harrowing, forbidden dalliances at their most spirited. The randy dowager, exhibitions for the noble of thought but spry of step. The lady herself says, enchanting. One supports the circles, if only because closed doors offer the imagination more. 3 scarves fluttered in shock out of 5. Oh, that sounds a bit risque. Must obviously be a review, as far as I can tell. The Randy Dowager. What a name for a play or a book or whatever it was supposed to be. I suppose they've got to have a bit of that in this. I think my alarm's just gone off, but I'm just going to finish off finding these people. Ooh. Visit an apothecary with herbs you gather in the wilderness to upgrade potions. Use the equip station to assign different potions to each of your party members and to replenish potions you're carrying. Use the upgrade station to unlock permanent upgrades to your potions. So, let us go to the equip potions bit, see if we've got anything.
We have so many injured.
No potions are available yet. We obviously need to find some. By upgrading. You can upgrade potions you've already unlocked. To upgrade a potion, select a category, select a potion, then select upgrade. Potion upgrades require a significant amounts of herbs to unlock. In return, they give permanent and significant bonuses to your potions. So, yes. Need lots and lots of things to upgrade these. So you have need 29 elf fruit and 1 dawn lotus. So yet another thing that uses elf fruit is upgrading potions. So we haven't got that yet. Let's go speak to Aiden. Or Adam.
Look who's back from the dead. Again.
We've met.
I don't recall meeting you before.
I'd be surprised if you did. You weren't particularly coherent. Someone had to patch you up after you staggered out of making those wear, though. So, you're welcome.
Ooh, he's a bit acerbic.
I didn't realize. Thank you.
Yeah. Well, you can pay me back by fixing the wood.
Oh, great, thanks.
Name's Adan. I'm in charge of keeping our little band here stocked with potions and elixirs. Not that Seeker Pentagast seems to care whether we've got the supplies to actually do that.
Right. You're a bit cranky, I would agree.
For a healer, you don't seem particularly nurturing.
I'm not a healer. I'm an alchemist who's forced to play Mother Hen. You want something to burst into flame on contact with the air? Done. Gladly. Patching up wounded soldiers is a waste of my time and talents. But there are a few around who can help.
Go on then.
Is there anything I can do to help out?
We're fine as far as raw labor goes. You've more important things to do than tend to me. I only wish I'd been able to find Master Tajan's notes. Old bastard was working on something special. He died at the Conclave, and his notes weren't here. Been too busy dealing with the wounded to look for them.
How are your people holding up?
There's no shortage of work. That's for damn sure.
How do I go about having potions made?
Just take a look there and tell me what you'd like. Find a recipe for something better, I can make that too.
Oh, nice and simple. So I've now acquired a regeneration potion recipe. So let's go into this. Equip or replenish potions. Healing potions at the top of the radio menu are replenished for free automatically, but all other potions require herbs. So let's go here. Let's select this one. Might as well. And then we'll replenish it. There we go. We've used up all our elf fruit already. That's helpful. Day 2. Pulse normal, breathing normal, still unresponsive. Careful drop feed of prep. Elf fruit extract to... elf fruit extract to hasten her recovery. Lot of thrashing. Mutters about too many eyes. Something about the grey. Encouraging? Yes, I got a bit tongue-tied on that one. That was a unusual use of the English language. English language. Yeah, I'm doing well with my language today. Have you ever heard the story of King Bedouir? Bedouir, like most kings, was a man of great pride who expected nothing but complete loyalty from his subjects. He believed the best way to achieve this was through fear. After all, those who feared him would never cross him or question his rule. Most importantly, those who feared him would always seek to please him. Bedouir cultivated terror in his subordinates through the gleeful and unrestrained use of a contraption referred to as the Maiden. The Maiden was a hinged iron casket as high and wide and deep as a man, with vicious spikes within, meant to pierce through the poor soul locked into it. Bedouir's Maiden was a prized possession and stood in a place of honour as the throne room, often with a screaming victim inside it. Political rivals, suspected assassins, treasonous ministers, the Maiden consumed them all. But as time passed, more people were given to the Maiden for increasingly trivial offences. The cook for oversalting the king's food, the page boy for dropping his sword. The Maiden cast a pall over the kingdom, and his people prayed for deliverance from their cruel king. Then one day a strange woman rode on to the city. She called herself Ember, and was an emissary from a far-off land. Her leaders had heard, she said, of Bedouir's wisdom and authority, and she sought the king's counsel. The thought that he had earned the adulation of brother kings across the sea made Bedouir swell with pride, and he granted Ember an audience. They dined and danced, and through it all, Ember flattered and fawned on the king. At the end of the night, Ember asked to see the Maiden, the infamous device that had given Bedouir all his power. The king, giddy with praise, proudly presented Ember with the empty contraption. Ember looked at the Maiden, sighed with disappointment, and said, "That does not look terrifying at all. I should have imagined the spikes to be much sharper." Bedouir grew red at her comment and replied, "The spikes are sharp enough. Look at the blood that still clings to them." "But it is so small," said Ember. "Are only children and women its victims?" Bedouir grew redder still and replied, "Of course not. The Maiden has devoured many men." Ember shook her head and said to the king, "I do not believe it. Surely no warrior could fear this thing. A man like yourself, tall and muscled, would not fit within." The king laughed and saw a way to prove the merit of the Maiden to Ember. "I will show you how easily a man like myself could fit," he said. And with that he stepped into the device. But Ember was waiting, and no sooner had Bedouir squeezed himself into the iron casket than Ember slammed it shut on him. Ember took the Maiden with the screaming Bedouir inside, through the castle and down into the city, and the people, finally freed from the king's tyranny, cheered and danced, the singing that echoed through the streets until Bedouir was dead and it finally stopped. A tale often told in the Singing Maiden Tavern. Well, that's a bit gross for a tale told in a Singing Maiden Tavern, but I suppose it was just and right. After all, kings shouldn't constantly put people in maidens for such a thing as dropping a sword or oversalting food. I don't put too much salt in my food personally, but I don't see it as that much of a problem. Right, so this is the blacksmith's where we craft weapons and things. So let's go talking to him. No, don't zoom over there with your weird hovering ways. Come here.
Expected you'd be by. I'm Harriet, and everyone knows who you are. How's the new gear fit?
Let's be nice. No, let's be... Yeah, I'm still a bit confused.
It's not exactly what I'm used to.
Wrong time for style to dictate what you wear. World's gone mad. Stock armor and blades are good against bandits, but we're not fighting bandits. My gear will see you through demons, apostates, whatever this world throws at you. So, you need custom work, something special. You bring the materials to us, we'll make it happen.
How did you come to be here?
Come from a little town called Lothring. Long gone now. I was in Redcliffe when the Darkspawn hit it during the Blight. Helped rebuild. Left when royalty decided it was time to hand the place over to the bloody mages. Then again, fair's fair. It was one of them that stopped the blight and all. Ended up here. Just missed the boot. Can't decide if I'm the luckiest son of a bitch walking or the exact opposite.
Probably lucky.
You're still walking. That's always good.
True enough.
Who outfits the Inquisition soldiers?
Not me. I've got work to do. Can't be passing a sword to every blighter who signs up. If you want to help the troops, talk to Thren, the quartermaster. She'll set up requisitions.
Does the Inquisition not have supplies to make armor or weapons?
Tough convincing traders to haul up here. Impossible to get them to risk the rare stuff, so that's on you.
What can you and your team make here?
Arms and armor. We work iron to blighted dragonbone if you've got it. Our designs are simple, but they get the job done. Do you want something fancy? Bring your own design. We'll see what we can do.
If I want something, what can you make?
Start simple. Something to keep you safe. Take a look at it on the table there and we can talk. You'll need materials. We should have what you want just outside.
Goodbye.
Cool. So I've picked up what looks like an apprentice coat. I'm just going to loot a... Oh, we've got some arms there as well. Just going to quickly make up a coat there. Lovely. Got a staff as well. Oh, there's another box over here. No, nothing there. So armour. Let's go to the armour. To craft new armour or weapons, you need a schematic and enough materials. The schematic determines the appearance and potential power of the crafted item. The materials determine the specific stats and powers that will be added to the new item. Right, so let's go into the coat. Okay, there's different slots for each. These have got both slots here. So that's 7 cloth for the armour aspect of it, and that's 4 cloth for the defensive aspect of it. So let's go into the armour rating first. It has a predetermined stat. So when you put it in, it will apply that stat. So I usually look for the best. At the moment, we don't have more than a couple of bits. So let's find the one that's got the most. Blue top, as you can see from the sleeves, or white top. We'll go for blue top because we've got more of that. Then we'll go into this bit. So this one, it gives us an 8% heal or a 10% spirit resistance. I think I'll go for heal. It's a good bonus. Okay, and we craft the item. A healing apprentice coat. So let's go back. We'll equip that one. Because I think it's better than what I've got. It is. Lovely. We'll just see if we've got anything else. Templar Scribe Cowl and Fire Resistance Cowl. Well, I can't apply the Fire Resistance one yet because I haven't got enough. We'll keep hold of those for now because we'll need it for our other mages. And I had an interesting weapon schematic, didn't I? So let's go over to the weapon schematics. In fact, what I will actually do first... Ooh, we've reached level 4. Sweet. Go to the modify armour bit. Okay. Upgrading an item adds upgrade status to the item's stats in addition to changing its appearance. For example, attaching a hilt with a 3 cunning bonus to a sword adds this bonus to the sword. So we'll get our lovely healing apprentice coat. And as you can see over on the right hand side, the light arms is in bold, so that means that we have a light arms thingy modification to apply, which we do. We've got light coat arms, which adds 3 magic defense, so we'll apply that one, confirm that, and then we've got 8% heal plus 3% magic. So very, very useful. So let's go and see if we can make a staff. First, let's check out what staff we've got at the moment, see how strong it is. 28 damage. So let's go in here, see if we can make a better one. So we can, if possible, 32 DPS. We don't have too much at the moment. Onyx, cold damage, that will do. And some cloth, either have, both willpower, so we'll use what we've got the most of, which is cotton. Doesn't make too much difference to the appearance by the look of it. Cotton. Craft that one. Got a resolute staff, that's okay. We will just nip into the modify weapons bit to see if we've got any modifications, which I don't believe we have at the moment because it's all in red. No, we don't. So we've got a slot for grip, staff blade and runes, but nothing to actually do yet. I will actually have another quick look at craft weapons just to see whether I can make any runes. No, I can't. Of course, because I haven't picked up any blank runes. So we'll just equip the staff. There it is. That's a little bit better. And let's go do that. Right, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to have just a quick run over here. I'm going to go and see if I can find some iron, just very quickly, and the logging stand, which I know is in this direction. And then we will call it a day, I think, or call it an episode. Lovely elf fruit. Okay, more of this lovely stuff. Let's run around this way. We'll go and have a look at the hut in a bit. In the next episode, I think. Avoid it for now. Lovely footprints in the snow. Yeah, we'll do the searching feature in the next one.
There must be something here.
So then I can go through it nicely. Yes, I know there's something there. Not yet. Let's go and find the logging stand first. Let's complete one of our missions at least. Oh, iron. There we go. So we've already got 5 iron because we've just picked up that iron. You can pick up more than one bit of iron. It's just luck, I think, or predetermined luck, shall we say. I'm going to go over this way because I know that a logging stand is over here. Oh, elf fruit. Don't miss the elf fruit. Need that. Let's go over here. I see some wood. There it is. So we've got this little logging stand, so when you see this, claim it, because it helps towards your requisitions. So that's completed that requisition. We're going to go quickly run back and do that one. Oh, I love those footprints in the snow. It's just such a nice little touch. Bit of graphics. And the sound change when she walks onto the dirt again. I love this game. There we go here. Get the elf fruit. Run on back. Keep running. That's the only thing that I would like to add to this game at the moment is a sprint option, because she doesn't have a sprint option, so she lightly jogs all over the place, which does take quite a bit of time. So let's just run up here. Back up into the keep. Haven did actually feature in Dragon Age Origins. It's one of the places that you go where there was a lot of fanatical people there that you had to kill who thought that a dragon was Andraste, which is quite a strange thing to believe, but hey, whatever floats your boat. So we're going to inspect requisitions, and there we see it's in bold, so we can select it, craft the requisition, and that mission is done. Okay, so we'll just end the episode here. We need to level up and go and just have another look for a bit more crafting. We'll go over back to that hut and have a look at the search option, which is a good part of the game, some of the missions that you do. And we will continue on with the storyline. Thank you very much for watching. This is Shadow Gaming, and we've been playing Dragon Age Inquisition. Please like, subscribe and comment, and I will see you next time. Later, peeps!